Hey everybody, welcome back. There's a new place in Chinatown, and I love going to new places right when they open. It's really exciting because everything's new and fresh. This place is 5 minutes west of the Strip in the Chinatown Plaza Mall where the 99 Ranch Market is. This used to be the old Harbor Palace Seafood Restaurant, but now it's a new place called Zhao Long Dumplings. This restaurant specializes in dumplings, the most famous of which is called Zhao Long Bao, or soup dumplings. This is a pretty big place. They got a nice bar, although it's not open yet. They're still waiting on their liquor license. But there's ample seating, and they even have a to-go menu that you can hit as soon as you come in through the door if you wanted to take your food to go. Everything is modern, and they have your state-of-the-art ordering system available for each table. You can scan the barcode which is assigned to each table, or you can order the traditional way with your server. Either way, the food is brought to your table by the servers. The interior design is new and modern, and I love the fact that this was a large restaurant. No more cramped spaces. They had plenty of seating for both small parties and large parties. This is Chairman Bao, the restaurant mascot. Any relation to Strictly Dumpling? The ambiance was a huge plus for me. The setup was really good. Another thing I liked about this place is that they provided real chopsticks rather than the disposable wooden splintery chopstick. The specialty here is the soup dumplings. They're served in the traditional bamboo steaming basket known as Zhao Long, if I'm saying it right. These dumplings are unique in that, in addition to the fillings, they are filled with soup. I also ordered the pan-fried pork buns, which is a popular dish here. These are not filled with soup. They may not look fried or deep fried, but they are fried on the bottom. The skin of these pork buns are a little thicker than the dumplings. I believe the ones I got were filled with pork. They were topped with scallions, and they looked very attractive. Here's the inside of the pan-fried pork buns. There's not a whole lot of filling, but just enough. The taste of this one comes from being fried at the bottom. I haven't had too many dumplings, and this was my first time trying this kind of a dumpling. I found that because of the thickness of the skin, these were a little more filling. The soup dumplings have a more delicate and lighter skin. I put it on my soup spoon just to puncture it to see how much soup comes out, and there was a good amount of soup. If you've never had soup dumplings before, they are amazing. This house special soup dumpling was delicious, filled with the pork, and you get a gush of the delicious broth when you bite into it. At the table, they give you the soy sauce, the chili oil, and a vinegar soy sauce. Traditionally, a lot of people like to eat it with the vinegary soy sauce. This one, I just put the vinegary soy sauce over the top of it. Usually I see people making the dipping sauce in a separate little saucer, but today I just felt like pouring the sauce over the top. But pouring the sauce over the top just seemed to kind of dribble off of the outer skin and landed on my plate. So I decided to put the sauce at the bottom of my soup spoon, put the dumpling on top of it. This provided me with more of the sauce that I wanted because I like mine a little bit more saltier. Chili oil also adds an amazing flavor to the soup dumplings. This method that I used today seemed to work well for me, putting the dumpling on the spoon with the soy sauce at the bottom and the chili oil over the top. Here we have the wonton soup. They have a large number of soups here as well. If you want to look at the menu, check the link in the description below. I'm not an expert on wonton soup, but I had it before and it tasted like wonton soup. This was more authentic with the seaweed and the scallions. It had a smaller version of the pork dumplings in the soup. I found this to go really good with soy sauce. And since I like to spice mine up a little more, I even added the chili oil. You can see how the soup color changed. This is their hand-pulled chicken. It's in a chili sauce and it had a good amount of spice to it, not overly spicy. This is a cold dish. There's something about cold chicken that's just really good. I love cold chicken. When it's pulled like this, it's pretty tender, mixed with a little bit of vegetables and cucumber, good amount of spice. Here's the inside of the soup dumplings. The soup dumplings are the star of the show. It's comparable, maybe even just as good or better than Shanghai Taste in the Shanghai Plaza. Look at all that soup. The menu here is very vast. Here is also their pork wonton in chili sauce. This is a little bit different from what I was used to. It had a pate on top, some kind of a sauce. I tasted it and it turned out to be a peanut sauce. It was pretty good. This was a nice twist. But it is different from what I was used to, just regular wontons and chili sauce. In my video list, there's a video on Shanghai Plaza where I showed a little bit of items from the Shanghai Plaza. There you can see some footage of soup dumplings from Shanghai Taste, which is a very popular and very reputable soup dumpling place. The menu here is pretty vast. They have all kinds of dishes here. Everything from the pan-fried dumplings to the soup dumplings and traditional Chinese food and Taiwanese food. This restaurant is just starting out. Not all items on the menu may be available, but they are getting everything in order and getting into the groove of things. In addition to their dumplings and wontons, they also have other dishes such as the Mongolian beef. This was a little bit less than I expected for $13.95. The taste was okay, not as bold, maybe a little bit mild as far as Mongolian beef goes. On my second trip, they also had the shrimp and pork soup dumplings. On my first trip, this was not available, but this was equally as good, very delicious. This time around, they also gave me a little something to mix with my soy sauce. I think it was radish or ginger or something of the like. I added the chili oil for a little extra kick. I didn't have an opportunity to taste everything on the menu, but clearly the highlight of this place are the soup dumplings. The whole experience, the soup dumplings are a pleasure to eat. The soup just gushing in your mouth, giving that soupy pork broth and pork with the chili oil and soy sauce, just outstanding. Here is their chow mein. Once again, the portions are not that large, and for me, the regular dishes just seem to be a little bit bland, could be more bold as far as flavor goes. But you could always jazz it up with soy sauce or with chili oil. One of the things that surprised me here was the drinks. This is a peach drink for $4.99. Not all of these are available yet at the time of filming, but that was really surprisingly good. Thanks, Victoria. They also have regular dumplings without the soup, like the steamed veggie and mushroom dumplings. They have a thinner skin, and these are just awesome for people who love dumplings. They go really well with the vinegar, soy sauce, and the chili oil. Here are the steamed shrimp dumplings. I love these shrimp dumplings. I like these a little more than the veggie and mushroom. The shrimp is firm, kind of like what you'd find in your dim sum dishes. They have additional items on the menu. I couldn't get to all of them. Here's a few pictures. They have many interesting things like this 5-spice beef and their beef noodle soup. And even though I haven't tried all of the dishes here, a lot of my friends have. In fact, I came here because of a recommendation of my friends. Thanks, Chris, for the tip. But if you're interested in the prices and the items they offer on their menu, I encourage you to check the description. I'll leave a link to the menu. This braised pork belly looked really interesting. And they even have chow fun. But like I said, the portions aren't too big, so some of the prices are gonna be $12 and up. I recommend asking your server for details. But the menu is pretty broad. And I wish I could taste everything on the menu, but I can only eat so much, so it's gonna take a few trips. They even have a dessert dumpling. It's chocolate, and I think there's banana in it. But all in all, this is a really good, hot and new restaurant. A nice new addition in the Chinatown Plaza on Spring Mountain. So that's gonna do it for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.